Good evening, viewers. Welcome to RMT, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transformative. This week episode, we shall be talking about balancing the family, your career, business, and of course, your social life. With me in the studio, we have Dr. Femi Samuel, we have Mr. Oluwafemi Oluwafemi Oluwalere, and of course, we have our dear sister, Mama T, Tony Oguns. And my name is Samuel Idowu. You are welcome. God bless you. Good evening.
Thank you.
This evening we'll be talking about. Good evening.
And good evening, viewers.
This week, today we shall be talking about balancing family, career, your social life, your business. We shall be looking at how we can balance these things. You see, as a real man, and of course a real woman, because we shall not be talking about men alone. We shall also be talking about with the women too. So this evening we shall be balancing. We shall be looking at how we can balance our lives. How real men can balance these areas of life. You are welcome, sir. This evening I will start with Dr. Femi Samuel. Please, what does it mean to balance family, career, business, and of course our social life? What does it mean to balance these things? Dr. Femi Samuel, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Human being, God has created us with innate ability to multitask and to be in charge of our environment. Balancing the social life, academic, less academic, family life, and every other part of life has to do with living a life without one feeding on the other. Living a life in which an aspect is not suffering because of a part of our life. Like, you won't allow the work to affect your family life. You won't allow your family life to affect your social life, and your social life shouldn't affect your work. You are able to juxtapose all these aspects of humanity together so that you can live a balance. That is what it means to be a balanced man, a real company. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel. I appreciate that. What it means is to live, to balance, and of course to live a life. You know, you don't allow one aspect of your life to suffer for the other. Thank you very much, Pastor Dr. Femi Samuel. Pastor Adegoke, you're welcome to the studio. Pastor Adegoke, you're welcome to the God bless you, sir. Pastor Adegoke is pastor of our.
You too, sir.
God bless you, sir. You're welcome to the studio. Yes, now I will go to
God
Mr.
bless you too.
Yeah, I will go to Mr. Femi Oluwalere. How can a married man or a woman balance their family, their career, their business, and of course social life? You see, we cannot talk about this thing without talking about our social life. Of course, we attend weddings, we attend birthday parties, we visit friends and what have you. So we cannot talk about our life being balanced without talking about our social life too. So how can a married man or a woman balance their family, their career, their business, and of course social life? And if you like, you can talk about their spiritual life too. How can they balance these things without any of this aspect of life being affected negatively. Mr. Femi Oluwalere, God bless you, sir.
God bless you too. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, all my colleagues. And let me say happy weekend to everyone and happy Workers' Day. The issue of balancing family career with business, with social life and spiritual life. I think we need to really be very careful with it because each of these has a functions and each of them has a limit. And as a man or a woman, one has to be really very, very careful in order not to allow each of the functions in an attempt to lay emphasis on one, then thereby causing a friction or having a negative effect on another function. So what that means is each of the functions has to be clearly defined. What is my functions spiritually? What is my function career-wise? What is my function maritally? What is my function business-wise? And you discover at the end of the day, you need to really be very careful to and believe that of all these functions, there's a reason for performing any of these functions. And you should know the ultimate one that should be precious, that you should guide jealously, is your family. So because of that, you look at all those functions critically and carefully, so that in the bid to satisfy one, you do not allow it to affect the other one. You can't say because you want to enjoy your social life and you allow your family to suffer, or because you are a spiritually inclined person and then you allow your family to suffer, or you are a workaholic in the office and you allow your family to suffer. So you have to carefully define each of them, and in the process of defining it, you must scale them. They must all have a kind of scale of preference, so that at the end of the day, you do not allow one to suffer at the expense of other. And if at all anyone is going to be suffered, or if at all anyone needs to maybe have any negative effect, you shouldn't allow the most important ones to suffer. And of all these functions, you should always know that your family is the most important one. Your family, your spiritual life, then maybe your career. There are some instances whereby when you discover your career wants to affect your family life, I think the best thing for you to do is maybe to opt out or look for a job somewhere else. Because the ultimate reason for working, the ultimate reason for going through all this function is your family. And your family must be guided jealously. You must attach a special premium for your family, so that at the end of the day you balance everyone and you don't allow anyone to suffer at the expense of the other one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Oluwalere. Thank you very much. The family is the most important of all. We should not, in any way, we should not allow the family to suffer for any reason. We should attach premium to our family. Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwalere. I would like to go to Pastor Adegoke now. Pastor Adegoke now. Sir, what advice can you give to career men or career women, as the case may be? Because we have seen instances whereby career people, they neglect their family. We've seen instances whereby career people, they leave, most of the time you find out that they get housemates, and then everything that has to do with their children are handed over to the housemaid. Most of the time, they don't even get to see their children throughout the week, because before the children wakes up, they're already out. Before they come in, the children are already asleep. So they don't get to see the children maybe for a week or more. At times, they only see the children, they get to see the children just once in a week, maybe probably by weekend. You find out that most of the time, these career people, it is the truth, it is the housemaid that usually brings up the children. So what advice, what do you think they can do? How do you think they can balance this thing so that the life of the children, we find out that the life of the children is at stake, because by the time you hand over the growth of your children to housemaid, you don't know what happens to the children. So, sir, how do you think, what advice can you give to career people in order for these things not to happen? What do you think they can do? How do you think they can balance this in such a way that their responsibility will not be left out? Pastor Adegoke, over to you.
Hello, viewers, and hello, co-presenter. Bro has just said everything. He has said everything, but I've just add little to it. Your career is your today, and your family is your tomorrow. So it's not late for you to make a choice. It's either your today or your tomorrow. Moreover, you are working, you are building your career to strengthen, to take care of your tomorrow, which happens to be your children and your wife, or maybe anybody living under your roof. And somebody somewhere will ask you about your tomorrow. They ask you, how far have you led your children? How far have you taken care of your children? If you know quite well as a man or a woman that, okay, I can't take care of my tomorrow, which happen to be your children, you don't have to raise children. So what's the essence of raising children where you cannot take care of them? Not giving them money to eat or giving them good accommodation, no. To make them, somebody in the society, a responsible somebody, an entity, an empire. To build a dynasty, you have to be involved in raising your children. When you fail to teach your children today, I'm telling you, all the career you have built, one day it will collapse. Am I communicating, sir? So it's not late for you. It's not late for you as a career man or woman to balance, each other. You must not allow this one, to usurp the other one. So when you build your career, definitely it's just like you are building for yourself personally. In a situation whereby you have business here, business there, when you pass on, who's going to hold the legacy? So we must be very, very careful as to how we raise our children. It's very, very important. We must not allow our career to overwhelm, the family issue. Family is the number one. It's very, very important. But if you want to face your career, my advice is that don't bother yourself to raise to have children. Because the children, when they are growing, when they are teenagers, you have to influence them positively. You have to influence them spiritually. You have to influence them, physically. Otherwise, the essence of building a career is rubbish. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Pastor Adegoke. Thank you very much. Well said. If you don't have a business, if you think you cannot, your career is more important to you, there's no point raising children. There's no point allowing the children to suffer unnecessarily. There's no point when you know you cannot take care of them. Then there's no point raising them. Thank you very much, Pastor Adegoke. We appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir.
I will go to Mama T. That's Madam Twain. How do you think not balancing our family with career with social life? How do you think these things can affect one spouse or the children when you fail to balance? When you fail to give a good balance to these things, how do you think these things can affect the spouse or the children, as the case may be? Over to you, Mama T.
Good evening, viewers, and good evening, everybody. Yes, balancing family, career, business, and social life. You can see that last week we talked about a complete man, a real man. So we can see that as human, our life is divided into different aspects, as we are discussing today. So in order for us to be able to checkmate ourselves so that we don't tilt too much one aspect of our life, we have to put some things into place. The first thing we need to do is that in order to, because most of the time when one's life is not balanced, the effect is greatly on the family. Because when we talk about your job, somehow you could at times adjust over time. You could take a break. But especially in the life of when you have growing up children, if you're not able to meet up certain areas of their life, you might miss up some things. That's okay. I was watching a video a couple of minutes before we start. A very young boy. I don't think that boy was he's up to 19. They said he's from Ekiti University, and he's doing rituals, Yahoo Plus, using his roommates. I was now wondering, what happened to these children? Did it start? Well, there was a fault from the parents. So we said that most of these things start from home. When you are in the family, probably because the parents are busy trying to put food on the table, these children are neglected. These children are left over for housemaid to take care of them. And even in some cases, while the parents are out there trying to take care of the financial aspect of the life of the family, you see some of these housemates sexually harassing the children, introducing them to different kind of things because you are not there for them. That is why some of their peer group can introduce them to some negative things in school. But because you are not their friend, because you are not available when they need advice, they can go astray. Especially when you have teenagers, that is the time you are supposed to be their best friend. If you're not a best friend to your teenage children, a lot of things will be happening in their life and you will not know. And when they need advice, they will go to their friends, they will go to other people, and you're not sure, you don't even know if the advice they're giving the person is what you as a parent will want your child to do. So if our life is not balanced, we are tilting to other aspects of our life, we are giving all our time to business, we are giving all our life, especially women, to social life. Every Saturday, every weekend, you go to party every weekend. You don't have time for your children. You find out that this could, in fact, most of the time, affect the children. Sometimes it might even affect their psyche. Some of these children, it might affect their self-esteem. They might feel that they are not loved. They might feel that they are not important. We've had stories of a child as the child was asked to write an essay about about myself. And the child said that he wants to be a television. Why? He said because in their house, the parents give more attention to the TV more than himself. So he wants to be the TV so that the whole family will give attention. So it is very important that we balance each area of our life so that one aspect will not suffer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mama T. Thank you. It's important that we balance these things so that any aspect of our life will not suffer. It is important that we balance it. We look after our children so that they won't go astray. Thank you very much, Mama T. Now we go to Dr. Femi Samuel. I will go to Dr. Femi Samuel. Please, is there any strategy, formula, or method, any strategy, formula, or method that that could be used to balance life? Is there any strategy? Is there any method? Is there any formula that could be used to balance any of these areas of life? Over to you, Dr. Femi Samuel.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
In life, what scale of preference? And if we apply this to our life, what are the things that are high up on our scale of preference? Is it our family life? Is it our career that we want to give attention to? When we draw our scale of preference in life, we know where to focus more attention on. We know that every aspect of our life needs attention at one time or the other. And there are times you may have to shift a little attention maybe to your academics because you are writing exam, after which you will come back and face your family. So if you draw a scale of preference, you know what comes first and what comes next. Because most of the decisions we are taking now, we go a long way to affect our future, to affect our life. But when we draw a scale of preference, do I want my family in any way? Have a principle. You don't want anything to affect you staying with your family. About this week, I had an enticing offer somewhere in a fertility center, and I had to think about it. But I know that if I take that job, there's a lot of money in it. But I'm so sure that it's going to take me away from home. When I mean taking me away from home, I may just be coming home maybe once in a month, which I have not been used to. And that may alter some aspects of my life. So I need to sit down and ask myself question, what do I really want? And the same way you say, you draw your preference, put your priority right. If you put your priority right, you will know where do you want to give attention. And if you must shift attention temporarily to an aspect of your life, it will just be because of the prevailing circumstances. Like for instance, if you have a family party, a burial, your parents also to do, that aspect of that time, you just have to focus more on the success of that project. After which, you go back and face your normal family life or what your preference has been. So being a complete man is to be able to prioritize on things in your life. What is the priority? What comes first? What comes second? What comes third in your life? And if you sit down and prioritize, you have your priority depends on how necessary that aspect of your life is to you. We all know that all aspects of life are necessary, both spiritual, social, academic, family, financial, any aspect. They are necessary, but at one time or the other, you have to prioritize. And that priority will go a long way to determine the outcome of what your near future will be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Femi Samuel. Thank you very much. We have to prioritize what we need to do. We appreciate that. Mr. Femi Oluwalere, you talked about giving preference to family when we're trying to balance when we're talking about balancing life. We talk about giving preference to family. I want to ask, for those that seek for greener pasture outside the country, and they have to leave their family behind, and they need to go, maybe, say for instance, maybe a doctor that got a job outside Nigeria, and he needs to go without the family, and he knows that when he leaves, he might not come back for probably the next 18, 24 months. That's 1.5 to 2 years. And that's his career. He's trying to build a career. What can we say to that? Does that mean such a person is not giving priority to the family? Because he needs to go and he's traveling, is to search for what the family will eat. Is to search for living for the family. Can we then say that when you leave your family and you travel abroad to seek greener pasture, can we then say that is without your family? Can we then say you are not giving your family priority? Mr. Femi Oluwadele, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. We say scale of preference. What you like may be different from what I like. And it depends on the order of importance. It is true in Nigeria today, there is no job anywhere. But in most of these things, you make a choice. And the choice you make can man or man you. But be that as it may, you still have to make a choice anyway. Those who seek for greener pasture, it's because they attach importance to it. And it is true, an idle hand is the devil's workshop. So if there is a job somewhere else, I can't say they should not go. But like Dr. Femi Samuel was saying, he said he got an offer just, was it this week he mentioned? And that he looked at it that if he's going to take that job, it might mean not seeing his family maybe more than once in a month. And having looked at it, he opted out. Some people will say, well, even if it is once in a year, I see my family, it's still okay. They take it. It all depends. But what I will say in essence that, you know, when we're discussing about this issue of a wife going for Omugo and leaving the husband behind, and the crisis it has created. So it also depends on the priority you place on it. And maybe if you go for greener pasture, maybe just pray that God helps you. There are many that have gone for greener pasture and God really helped them. Nothing happens to the family. They go and at the end of the day, they get reunited there, or maybe they have a way of communicating themselves and nothing happens. But there are many that have gone and have ended up having their family in crisis. Either maybe when they come back, they discover maybe the driver is the owner of the children at home, or maybe the husband eventually gets home and discover the wife is pregnant, or the wife has gotten 1 or 2 or 3 issues for somebody else. So it depends on the choice you put into it. Some will get a greener pasture and they say, if my wife, my family is not going with me, I will not take it. But some will say, there is nothing bad in it. And at the end of the day, it also depends on the type of family you have. There are families that they will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, nothing will happen. The family will still be intact. And there are some that will go, in fact, within a week or 2, the wife has already gone elsewhere to look for maybe another husband. So you discover it depends on the choice you give to it. If your choice, if the scale of preference is saying going for greener pasture is the most important to you, all well and good. If it is your family that you believe is the most important to you, all well and good. So it depends on choice. And choice has to be made. But my advice is whatever choice you want to make, you need to look at the pros and cons. If the pros is more than the cons, well, up for it. But where you discover the cons is more than the pros, to me, I rather prefer you opt out of it. Look at what Dr. Samuel did, Dr. Femi Samuel. He looked at it and discovered the cons is more than the pros, and he opts out. But some family will tell you, no, I attach so much importance to my job and I must go for it. So it depends on the arrangement. It depends on the level of understanding. Thank God social media still bring people together as if we are in a global village. But to me, at the end of the day, it depends on the choice. It depends on the scale of preference. Today, you discover some people attach so much importance to greener pasture, working outside the country. But there are many people who tell you, if it's not going to be myself and my family, take your job. So it depends on the importance. Thank you.
Yeah, it depends on the importance. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Oluwalere. We appreciate that. Thank you. Depends on the importance that we attach to it. Thank you very much. Let me go to Mama T again. We talk about family, we talk about career, we talk about business, and of course, maybe social and spiritual. I want you to give to attach percentage in order of priority. In what percentage can you attach to these things? How important do you think they are? How do you think? You see, balancing it does not mean they should all be on the same level. It doesn't mean when we talk about balancing it doesn't mean they should all be on the same level. But what we are saying is that don't allow one to suffer for the other. Oh, if we say, we attach more importance to the family, that does not mean every other area should not be attended to. Now, we talk about the family, we talk about the career, the business, social and spiritual. I want you to attach percentage to these things, and let's see, and give us the reason why one should be more important to the other, or why we should attach importance to one than the other. Mama T.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel said earlier, that we should prioritize. So it is important to set our priority right when it comes to balancing the aspect of our life. And like you rightly said, that balancing those aspects of our life does not really necessarily mean that you must spend the same amount of time with each areas of your life. That is not what we really mean by balancing it. But the most important thing is that for us to be, we cannot assign certain percentage that, your family life is 100%, the other one is 99.9%, career is 0. We cannot really do that. But in order for us to be able to really strike a balance in all aspects of our life, we need to have a vision for each area of our life. If we don't have, we may find ourselves that we are tilting more to certain area because we are trying to meet certain goal, which is acceptable at some time in our life. Maybe you have a particular project that you are doing. Probably maybe you are doing a study, you advance yourself, you are going to school. Somehow that aspect of your life at that point in time, we attract more, we take more of your time. But if other areas of our lives does not have vision, you find that you will dwell there. But when other aspects of our life, we have career vision, we have family vision, we have business vision, you have vision for your social life. So when other things are trying to tilt you away, there will be a kind of check and balances to draw you back, that something is happening here. I have a vision in my business. I have not met it. Then that will help you to to switch back and say something has to be done in this area of my life. So it is important that there is vision for each area of our life. Then secondly, there must be constant reassessments. We must reassess ourselves so that when one project in one aspect of our life is taking us away, we can look back and see where we need to make necessary adjustments. So we need to assess our daily, weekly, and monthly activities so that we know that, oh, it's like this area of my life is beginning to suffer. Then we can make correction and adjustment. Then another thing is our time management. It is important for us to manage our time. Spending time with family or social life or our career, it is not all the time the amount of time you spend in that area of life, but it's what is the quality of time that you spend. We can realize that there are some families that the father might be living in the house, they might be living together, but probably the time they're spending together is not even productive. And you see some family, the father does not stay at home, he comes home every weekend. But each time he comes home, he makes sure that he makes maximum use of that period is at home. That time he's spending is quality time. So it is important that we manage our time. And each time we are giving to each area of our life, we make sure that it is quality time. Then another thing is that sometimes in life, we might need to take some risk. Like, let's say that a man that his job is not giving him enough to take care of his family. If a man cannot provide for his own, the family is not balanced. So if that will take him out of his environment in order to provide for his own, he's taking a risk to balance the financial aspect of the family, which must be attended to. So sometimes we might need to take risks in order to balance some other aspects of our life. So what I'll now advise is that in such area where you think that if I stay here, financially my family will suffer, then you now find a way of adjusting to make way, as in make provision for other aspects of our lives. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mama T. Thank you very much. We need to prioritize. We need to look at it very critically before taking whatever step we need to take. Thank you very much, Mama T. Yes, now to Pastor Adegoke. Spiritual and family. Which one should come first, Pastor Adegoke? Spiritual and family. Which one should come first?
Thank you, Pastor Sam. To be honest, it's a difficult question to answer. If you have a family without a spiritual background, the family we are exposing the family to danger, to external forces. At the same time, when you have if you are spiritually inclined with that family, you are just an island. So we need both, side by side. But however, very important, the basis of any family is the spiritual aspect of it. If you want to build a house, you have to think about the foundation very well. If you are building maybe 2 or 3 story buildings, you have to go deeper and deeper and deeper to have a solid foundation. So if you want to build a family, you have to be spiritually inclined, because Bible says we should redeem the time the days are evil. There are evil occurrences everywhere, evil influences everywhere, evil vices everywhere. So you have to be a praying mother or a praying father. Whatever may be your faith, you have to be very, very prayerful to make some selection. So what am I saying in essence? That you want to be, spiritually inclined to build a good family. To understand, what it entails to build a family, you must highly spiritual inclined. It goes a long way. At the same time, if we are just on a spiritual aspect, alone, I'm telling you, the family, we will be sagging. We are not feeding the family enough with what is supposed to, to be fed. So, in summary, we need both aspects, but above all, you as a parent must be spiritually inclined, because each child has a destiny to carry, and you must help them, to accomplish the purpose, the will of God in their life by praying and praying for them. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Pastor Adegoke. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Dr. Femi Samuel, please, is there anything that you would like to add to that? Spiritual and family, which one should come first? Dr. Femi Samuel.
Thank you very much, sir. Pastor Adegoke has spoken well on the issue of spirituality and family, because you just need both to survive. They are the two things that you cannot easily separate. People have said that in life have ended up being a failure, both either in ministry or in their family. I've read through about God's general, and I saw why some failed, why some succeeded. I know of a particular story of A.A. Allen. You see, A.A. Allen, it wasn't A.A. Allen, one of these South African miracle preacher. The man was so successful that his words were documented everywhere. But the wife died. How did the wife die? Died out of neglect. It was after he remarried, he now realized that more attention needed to be given to the family. So the second wife was one that enjoyed the more attention. But the first wife was driven, was without not considering her strength, and the woman died out of neglect. So the two should actually go together, the family and the spiritual. They should go together, in which God expects you that as he is the head of the husband is the head of the family. So God is heading you for you to head the family. He expects you that when you move with your family. Eli had the same problem. And the problem is that Eli was becoming more spiritual and leaving his children on. And that was brought into it. So people that have separated the family life and their spiritual life, most of them ended up having problem, either failing in both. So there is no way we can effectively separate those two lives, because God expects you to, just like God told Abraham that he trusts Abraham, that we instruct his children well on what to. So God also trusts us to do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Femi Samuel. Both are important, the spiritual and the family. There's a story of the wife of a pastor. When the husband finished ministering on the altar, the woman now went to the altar and lay on the altar and began to pray and cry unto God that, God, I want to get married to this man, to this pastor that just left this altar. I love this pastor that just left. I want to get married to him. Then I asked him, they said, Mama, the pastor that just left this place, that just finished preaching, is your husband. You are married to him already. She said, no, I'm not married. This is not the person I'm married to. It's different from the person at home. This one gives attention. This one is jovial. This one is kind. This one is this. This one is that. But the one I got married to does not laugh at home. Does not talk to me. Does not do this. Does not do that. It shows that the pastor neglected his own family. But he embraced the spiritual aspect of his life and neglected the family. And the family is suffering for it. So it is important that we balance the two. So you don't say, I am serving God, I am worshiping God, and yet you neglect your family. Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel. Thank you very much, Pastor Adegoke. Thank you very much for that.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Permit me
Yes,
to make for just what I just discussed about the spiritual and the family. Permit me to make one Bible reference, so to say, please. I do quite well that some people of other religion will be, listening, watching us, but just permit me, just say, I'm taking a permission. When you look at the story of Eli and his children in the temple those days, they were doing the things of God spiritually, but morally they were not trained because of Eli's old age. And God called church the promises he had for the family. So what am I saying in essence? When we are spiritually inclined, at the same time, we must balance it by training our children the moral aspect of life. Am I communicating now?
Yes, sir.
So spiritual aspect is very, very good, is very, very sound, is very, very good, is the foundation of every family. At the same time, as a parent, as a father or mother, we must try as much as possible to train our children against bad influences, train them morally, in this world. Otherwise, the spiritual aspect will be defeated. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Pastor Adegoke. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you. The spiritual aspect is very important, but then don't neglect the family in the course of attaching importance to the spiritual aspects. Let me go to they said ladies first. So let me go to Mama T. What is your final notes on balancing family, career, business, social, and of course, spiritual? What is your final note on this, Mama T?
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, my final word on this, my advice to everyone, in order for us to be able to have a balanced life, to balance all aspects of our life, we should do constant reassessment. We should always reassess ourselves. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mama T. Constant reassessing ourselves, constant reassessing your career, whether you are going too deep into it and allowing other things to suffer, whether you are going too deep into the spiritual, allowing other things to suffer, whether you are the O1 type, going through too much into the social and allowing the other things to suffer, or you are too business inclined, you don't listen to any other thing, it's just the business, or you are too deep into the family, allowing your spiritual life and every other thing to suffer. She's talking about constant reassessment of ourselves, constant reassessment. Thank you, Mama T. Mr. Femi Oluwaleri, your final notes.
Well, thank you very much. My final note is, in everything we do in life, put God first. If you don't put God first, it's like a tree that cuts its branches off. If you cut it off, what happens to the remaining one? If you separate yourself from God, forget about any other thing. After all, we know what happened to Job. And thereafter, his later year was better than his earlier years. So on my final note, I would rather prefer putting God first. Because whatever you have, your family or whatever, it is God who gave it to you. And if you messed up with them or with him, he can take everybody from you and you won't be able to do anything. You know, God is a God you can't challenge. So spiritually, you must put God first. After putting God first, then your family should come next. That's my final note. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Oluwalere. Thank you very much for putting God first in whatever we do. Putting God first in whatever we do. Thank you very much. Dr. Femi Samuel, your final note, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Can you just speak a little bit louder? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can barely hear you, sir. You're breaking. We can't hear you.
Okay.
Dr. Femi Samuel, we are not hearing you.
Who now? Am I audible?
Okay, it's better now. Better now, sir. Go ahead, sir. Yes, better. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you now.
Yes, we are hearing you now.
Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my... Hello?
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. We can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Pastor Gogo can go on while he's trying to sort out that.
While we are waiting for him to sort out his the mic issue, Pastor Adegoke, please, your final note, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. Tonight we've spoken about family, career, social, and spiritual. The only thing we cannot overdo is spiritual. Every other thing we can overdo them, and when we overdo those areas, it might have a negative effect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Pastor Dr. Femi Samuel, can you hear us now? But we can hear you.
Yes, louder.
Okay, I think it's better now. Oh, you're breaking. You're breaking.
Yes, you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I hear. That's the network.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
There is people have adopted from the beginning of my life. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
That is not to allow every part of my life to suffer because of a part. If you want to start a family life as a young man, you want to get married. You are still read your book, face your career and everything, that you can actually merge a lot of things together. You can multitask. And at the end, you meet at the top. I have had colleagues that will tell me that are at the peak of their profession now, doing so great, but they couldn't settle down. Why? Because they focus more on their career that is demanding. So I told myself that I wouldn't allow any part of my life to suffer because of anything, not even because of my postgraduate training or anything. So I put a lot of things together. So never allow any part of your life to suffer, because at the end, you may now notice that you've been involved in a rat race while leaving the necessary things undone. Face your life, decide on what you want to do, and make sure that as much as possible you multitask. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel. Thank you very much, viewers. I believe that we all enjoyed this episode of Real Men Talk. You can see we are not supposed to allow any part of our life to suffer for the other. We need to balance them all. It doesn't mean that they have to. We need to attach the same, give the same timing to them. But of course, you should not allow one to suffer for the other. We need to balance them. When you are supposed to go for a spiritual program, you do that. The spiritual aspect of faith, don't allow it suffer. The family, your career, your business. We are supposed to balance this. We've had it from great men and of course women of high intellectual. Thank you very much, my co-host. Thank you very much, viewer. Thank you for joining us on this episode. We believe and hope that you had an amazing time. See you next week episode. Stay glued to Real Men Talk, where it's seasoning hot. Thank you very much. See you next episode. Thank you. Bye for now.